the 2 points which I was burning to make to you, I think, were firstly that if we get a second independence referendum shortly, and it looks like we may, for me it is absolutely essential that we have international observation of it this time. And the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe is tasked with overseeing democratic processes in member states. The UK is a member state. It has an institution specifically for that task, which has the unfortunate acronym of ODIHR, which is the Organization of Democratic Institutions and Human Rights. It's based in Warsaw, and they regularly oversee elections and referenda in member states, but it has to be with the agreement of the member state. And in this case, it's the United Kingdom, which is the member state. It seems to me, however, that if the Scottish government were prepared to take a high-profile stance and ask the OSCE to monitor the election and request of Theresa May that the UK government backs that, it's very hard for the government to, because it's the old adage, it's turning back on them, the adage they used to us: if you've nothing to fear, you've nothing to hide. And in fact, even if they were to refuse international observers, that would be a fact of which political play could be made. But the most important thing about the international observers, it's not just that they will monitor polling stations, not all of them, but a few hundred. It's not just that they will judge self. It's not just they will look into the postal ballot system, which needs doing. All those are good things. But they will also monitor for 6 months ahead of a vote. 6 months ahead of a vote, they will send a specialist team here to monitor the media for bias. And they will produce a report. And I've got, I didn't bring it with me, but I've got a copy of their, I've actually done this. I've done it for the OSCE in parts of the former Soviet Union. They have a handbook for media monitors, which is 80 pages long, and which contains all the formula for monitoring all the media output and assessing it not just for quantity, but for quality. So it's not just do both sides get equal time, but it's, are they treated equally? Are they treated with equal respect? Are they allowed to talk without interruption? Is the body language of a presenter different for different sides? So it's qualitative and, hard to say that, quantitative analysis. And that to me is absolutely essential. And that is done, that is then published internationally to all the member states of the OSCE, which includes every member state of the European Union, every member state of the former Soviet Union except for Belarus, and the United States. And obviously, for a vote to be judged not free and fair because of media bias would be an extremely grave concern to the British government and to the BBC. Just the fact they are being monitored would be some sort of break on their rampant bias. And the fact that you have independent observers from all around the world saying they are biased is very important. Because at the moment, of course, we are lumped in as conspiracy theorists or nutters for complaining about the extremely obvious bias of the BBC.